Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to the Screen Kings. Christian, how are you? How you been?
I'm doing well, man. I'm excited to be back and reviewing some films that we recently got to see, both good and disappointing. How are you doing?
Listen, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I think um we definitely got a lot to talk about when it comes to these two films because one was a mess and one was chaotic, but that's very good. So I'm excited. So today we are reviewing The Bride
Yep,
and Hoppers.
yep.
They both came out this weekend. Um, Hoppers took number one at the box office, and The Bride, I don't even know if it got number two, honestly. I read a report that it made 7.3 million in the whole weekend, and the
Which is
budget was
bad.
90 million. It's very bad. The budget was
It's
90
very
million.
bad.
Um, so I don't even know if it took number two. I'm not really sure. I think Hoppers, they said, made 88 million.
Hmm.
Big jump.
I think it's more
So
than Coco, right? In
yes,
its opening weekend?
it's the highest grossing opening weekend for a Pixar movie since Coco.
Okay.
Since Coco. So I think we should start off with The Bride.
Yep. Start off with the bad first, then get to the
Oh
good.
yeah, spoiler alert. That's the bad one. The Bride is rough. So short premise pretty much it's about Frankenstein and his bride. Christian, would you like to explain more briefly?
Sure, I'll do the best that I can.
Mhm.
So the film stars Christian Bale and Jessie Buckley, and she plays the Bride of Frankenstein. And it's basically about their love story and their journey, mixed in with a lot of different stuff. The bride finding her identity and who she is. And it also involves a very kind of Bonnie and Clyde type of plot line where they're kind of on the run for crime and I of some sort, and there's investigators after them, and you guys might be wondering, well, you sound a little bit confused about what this movie's about. Well, I'll say, as I watched it, I was confused about what was going on, why things were happening. Things would happen, and I was like, okay, in this world, is this like, does this make sense in this world? Okay, this is happening here. Do they have the ability to do this? Like, I was confused watching the movie, and it's about a lot of different things, and it says a lot of things, and also says nothing at the same time. It's when you got too many cooks in the kitchen almost, and it's
Mhm.
trying to say different things, and it says really nothing at all.
Yeah. Um I'm gonna keep it real. Listen, I can't give a full review because I did walk out. Um, I was not moved. It just kept going and going, and I kept waiting for like a moment where I'm like, "Oh, okay, I get it. I see it." I never got that. I think it was too long. I don't think it needed to be what 2 hours 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was definitely
Um,
long.
Granted, I didn't see the ending. I'm not really pressed to see the ending. I will say
It's all good.
cinematography, beautiful. Um, other than that, they didn't have a lot to work on. Like work so Jessie Buckley, there she gives a performance. Um, Definitely not something you'd want coming after Hamnet. But I also think she tried to work with the material she had. Uh, and basically she like spoiler alert, she has like multiple personalities, and one of them is like an angry, poetic British woman, and it just didn't work. I didn't understand a word she was saying. It felt like it came out of nowhere, and it felt very forced. And I was like, "What am I watching?" Like it reminded me of Joker 2, and that's not a good thing, you know. So for me, I'm a pass. It was rough, like rough, man. It was rough.
Mm. See, that's the thing though, that the film I don't think does a good enough job explaining what is going on. I feel like you have to do extra research to figure out because you're kinda right, Jeremy. But it wasn't a multiple personality thing. It was, like, basically that she was being possessed by the ghost of the original writer of
Mary
the
Shelley.
Frankenstein story, yeah, which was by Mary, which was a female, and I come to find out basically the premise was that she possessed this woman, and through this movie, she's telling the story that she actually wanted to tell but couldn't because back then, these kind of, I guess, maybe themes for women wouldn't be allowed. That's what I read somewhere, but the film did not give me that impression, and I was actually confused by what was going on. So I shouldn't have to read extra stuff to figure out the film that I'm watching.
Mhm.
I will say, as far as The Bride goes, I was hugely disappointed. This was one of my most anticipated films for this year. I thought the
Mhm.
trailer looked really good, and it was a complete dud. I almost thought to myself that it was the worst film of the year, but I did see Iron Lung, and I think The Bride is slightly better than Iron Lung, but that's not saying much. But there is a possession thing to it, which was already a plot point that I never could buy into or digest. It never worked for me. You really have to pay attention as hard as you can because you cannot understand the dialogue, especially when it comes
Mhm.
to her character. It was just a very confusing, messy, unfocused plot. I did not buy into the romance. Um, it just Yeah, I think you bring up a really good point. It's very much like Joker, well acted, looks pretty, things like that. But as far as the narrative goes, it is very lackluster. And it's a shame because if it was handled with better care, I think this could have been a very solid film that had a good message about female identity and feminism and empowering women. But unfortunately, that message in this vehicle does not land home.
No.
So
So if you had to rate it 1 out of 10, Christian, what are you rating The Bride?
I would give The Bride a 4 out of 10, and it only gets 4 because of the acting and the production value and cinematography. It looks good, but the narrative choices that were made are very it almost feels like scene to scene it's something different. It doesn't know what it
Mhm.
wants to be tonally, it doesn't know what type of film it doesn't wanna be, and that's where I come to the conclusion that it's a mess, it's hard to follow, there's various different storylines, even with the detectives that really doesn't work out, and overall, I'd say 4 to 10. What about you?
I was thinking, I don't know if I can give this one a rating since I didn't finish it,
Well,
but
what you did
from
see
what I
because you
did
only have,
see,
like, 20 minutes left.
I left and there was what? There was how many minutes?
15 to 20, I think?
Oh, what the I could have stayed for that. I just wasn't moved enough. Um, from what I saw, I give it a 3.
Okay,
I
that's
give it
fair,
a
and
3.
I'll say this, guys, I know you maybe don't know me personally, but Jeremy does. If I take out my phone in a movie,
Listen.
it's we're in bad territory because I always try to respect the film, give it my full attention, and I
Mhm.
didn't pull out my phone to look at other things. I wanted to give the film its rights, the full length, but I did pull it out to start taking notes on the film, and
Mhm.
when I start doing that, it's more so to prepare for a review and not enjoyment of the film, so that right there was a red flag,
Yeah,
if
when I
that
saw that
means
phone
anything.
come out, I said, "Oh, this movie's cooked."
Yeah, I was starting to take notes. I was like, I'm gonna start crafting my review because honestly, the film
Mhm.
lost me. And at a certain point, I was trying to ride with it. And then we got to a certain point, and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm experiencing with this film is what it is for me. Because I
Yep,
really wanted to like it. I really liked the cast, the idea. But right from the jump, it had me shaky, but just based on the possession
yep,
angle. And there's also a mafia angle here as well. It's just a lot going on, and not a lot at the same time, and
yeah,
yeah, it was very disappointing.
I wasn't moved. So, on that note, I think it's time to hop on over to Hoppers.
Mhm.
Let's hop on over to Hoppers. Hoppers. I really enjoyed this film. I think to give a small premise, it's about a young adult named Mabel. She's in college, and her professor has made this invention where I think you can transfer your brain into an animal, and she wants to defend the beaver dam. There's a highway byway being built, and it's gonna take over the dam, and she wants to like save the animals. So she puts her brain into a beaver,
Mhm.
and chaos ensues. Christian, what'd you think?
Hoppers was a very pleasant surprise. I think I did see the trailer beforehand, but I could not remember anything about it, and it was a blast of a movie. I would
And
say, and I told you this earlier, Jeremy, this is the best Pixar film since Coco in 2017. It's
mm,
better than Lightyear. It's better than Inside Out 2. It's better than Turning Red. It's better than Luca. It's better than all of those. I
mm,
think this is what we kind of want from Pixar. It's very funny, does have some surprising things in it. It's very heartwarming, very touching. It sends a good message. It has a very likable lead in Mabel. Um, I think I told you this earlier. One thing I really appreciate about this film is that the main character, Mabel, she's not a kid. I mean, she
mhm.
starts out as a kid, but most of the story, she's a 19-year-old that's in college. And I don't know, I found that very refreshing because she's a young adult in college. She's not a young kid. And I think that's good that that maybe demographic is represented in a Pixar film and her championing what she believes in when it comes to the environment and animals.
I think I just like lizard. I don't know. No, I really enjoyed this film. I was actually really excited for it because I'm always excited to give Pixar another chance, you know.
Mhm.
Um, last year, I think last year was Elio, and that was a
Mhm.
sleeper. It was a sleeper hit. Like I really enjoyed Elio. Um, Inside Out 2 was good. But one that I enjoyed that you weren't moved by was Luca.
Yeah.
Um, but when you say the best since Coco, I'm trying to think because I did really enjoy The Incredibles 2
This is better than that.
more than the first one. No, but I'm like I don't know. It might be the best since Luca. I'll give it that. I love Luca. That movie, oh, it's so good.
You're kind of on an
Um,
island with that.
I am. I'm on a very lonely island. Nobody mentions Luca. And
No.
you know what? That's okay. That's fine. I will mention Luca. Alberto and Luca. Those are my friends, and I will fight for them forever. But back to Hoppers, I really enjoyed it's a rare movie where I enjoy every character.
Mhm.
I enjoy every character. The cast is stacked. I mean, you have John Hamm, Meryl Streep, Dave Franco. I mean, just stat cast. Surprisingly very funny.
Mhm.
I read a review before we saw the movie where they were like, "Oh, we loved it. We laughed more than we thought we would, and our jaw dropped a few times." And I was like, "Well, okay. I'm sure that's just them." No, this movie will have your jaw dropped quite a few times.
We were
I
in the
was not
theater and
prepared.
we were shocked. And there was
Yeah.
kids there, obviously. It's a kids movie on a Sunday,
Mhm.
right? When we saw this. We were I feel like we were more reactive to what was going on. We were more vocal and loud than the kids were.
Listen, I was cackling at some parts, and I love a good cackle. And so I think we were definitely more like reactive than the kids. But I think it also is a testament to Pixar that
Mhm.
this movie was made for everyone.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, like this wasn't just a kids movie. Like I feel like in the past they've made movies recently meant just for kids and they didn't work audience wise because who's buying the tickets? Not the kids, the adults. So when the
Mhm.
adults are like, "Oh, it's not that good," the you're not going to make as much money. But you know, when you make a movie that's for everyone, you're in the bag. Listen, 88 million opening weekend. That's kind of crazy for a original concept. Oh,
Yeah,
excuse
I
me.
mean, you bring up a good point. I think that's what works for Pixar so well, and Disney when they land as well is like it's a film for all ages. Adults get something out of it, obviously young kids, teenagers, and I think that's the magic sauce of Pixar and and Disney as well, when they can hit that, and they don't always hit that, and I think they
Hmm.
hit it here, and I think that's why it's better than what we've seen recently. I mean, we're talking almost 10 years, at least
Yeah,
in my opinion. This is the best Pixar film in almost a decade, and it's very surprising, and I think word of mouth is really helping this film. I think you have teenagers, I mean, us grown men going to see it,
yeah,
kids, I mean, I think this is something that really deserves the praise that it's getting, especially in these difficult times that we find ourselves in. Obviously, it's not really the message is not directed towards maybe what we see on our current landscape in life, but it does send a really good message about working together with other people, um, looking out for everyone. Obviously in the film it's animals and humans and them working together and all different types of animals, but I think that can translate to humans, all types of people trying to work together because we're all part of a bigger picture. And I love that messaging from the movie.
yeah. So, Christian, what is your number rating of Hoppers?
I would give Hoppers an 8.5 out of 10. I would say so far, I mean, it's only early March, but this is one of my favorite films of the year so
Hmm.
far. This is definitely something I would recommend to all ages. I would recommend a theater visit for this. I do believe it's worth it. It's not too long. It's also not too short. You don't want to go to a film and you spend your money and you feel like you just sat and got out. It's about an hour 45. You do not feel the length. It has a lot of twists and turns, especially if you're unfamiliar with the premise of it all. I think it has a great message. I love Mabel as the main character. I'm normally not a main character guy. I usually like
Hmm.
side characters more. I usually like villains more. But here she is very likable, very fast. Um, some of it's a little predictable, and I will say I'm not the biggest fan of the animation style in general, but the animation style works for the story they're telling and the film that they're creating, so I gave that a pass. The soundtrack's great, there's a lot of cool songs for young and old in there,
Hmm.
there's some old rock songs in there that I was jamming to, and I think you bring up a good point earlier is that sometimes with animal characters and side characters, it can really tread into annoying territory where they might cast a Kevin Hart or an Awkwafina to fill a role, and it just
Yeah.
irks your nerves to death. But here, that doesn't happen. A lot of the characters or all the characters are very likable and they're very fun. They don't maybe all get the most depth, but they serve a purpose and they serve a role and they're very funny. And I give credit to the film. They do take some twists and turns that are very shocking, not in like a thriller sense, but for a Pixar film, it'll have you shocked that they went there.
Hmm.
And it's very entertaining and it takes you on a ride where it really is what a movie should be, and that's the ultimate escapism. I really felt like I was invested in this character and this story for the hour 40 or 45 that I sat there, and it draws you in from start to finish, and it doesn't lag, and has a great message. So overall, I think as far as a Pixar movie goes, it checks all the boxes. So I'd give it an 8.5.
Hmm. That's valid. That's valid. I'm right in that range. I would give it an 8.5 or 8. Um, I agree with everything you said. Like, I think this is one of Pixar's best films in a while.
Mhm,
Um, Definitely for the whole family. I was cracking up and has some heart to it too. Definitely. Um, Unpredictable, funny, different.
mhm.
Um, yeah, I definitely think Pixar might be back. Pixar might be back. I don't know.
And this is coming
I
from someone that's
think,
not the biggest animal person. I
yeah,
know that sounds bad, but I've never been the biggest, like, animal person. I don't have a pet. I don't mind pets, but I've never been the biggest animal person. The fact that this film moved me and a majority of it is about animals and animal characters, I think
yep.
speaks volumes to what they were able to execute.
Yep. So I think Pixar was in their bag with this one, and I hope it doesn't go unnoticed. Obviously, not with an $88 million opening, but
And a high
you
Rotten
never
Tomatoes
know.
score.
Yeah. So I'm really hopeful that Pixar is back because I think their next film is Incredibles 3. No, Toy Story 5. Toy
Okay.
Story 5. Which is in June.
Mhm.
So, and that looks pretty good. So I have hope.
I mean, this year has been such a surprise in the
Mhm.
good and in the good and the bad. Hoppers, this is not something I'd go out of my way to see if I hadn't seen it, but I'm
Yeah.
so happy that I did see it.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
one of those
cuz
ones
you
where it's like, "Oh, I had time to see it, so I'm gonna go see it," but it really should have been one of those ones that I put on the calendar to go see, like The Bride. I mean, I feel like that's how it's been this year. Movies I've looked forward to haven't met the bar, and movies I did not expect to be good, like a Primate, like a Crime
Mhm.
101, like a Send Help, like a Hoppers, are some of the best of the year, and stuff like The Bride missed the mark. So I'm kind of
Mhm.
excited to see what gems come
We
up
got
this year,
some
and we got a
sleepers
lot on the
coming up.
plate, so
We got sleepers coming up. I don't
mhm.
know, but one that I'm excited for, not to spoil it, but Project Hail Mary.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I got some hope.
We already got our tickets.
Yes, I'm excited. So I can't wait. Well, thank you guys for watching. Christian, any last thoughts?
No, I think that's it. Hey, this weekend, go see Hoppers.
Mhm.
If you haven't seen it, definitely recommend that. It's a great family film. Skip The Bride. I'm sorry to
Yes.
say it. Don't even watch it at home. It's not worth it. I know that sounds bad, but I don't think there's many other family films coming out in the month of March. It's mostly like horror movies, which we'll see, of course, but
I mean, last day of March, technically,
Hail
we got a
Mary?
big one.
What's that?
We got Mario.
Oh, Mario. Yeah, you're right,
Mario.
okay. But for the next couple weeks, let's say that.
Yeah.
It's up until Project Hail Mary, you got a couple
Mhm.
weeks where I think Hopper should be the main attraction. I think
Yeah.
it's definitely worth watching, and if you can't see it in theaters, make sure you have it up and ready when it hits your Disney Plus account, because I
Yes.
think it's definitely worth watching with the family, so, yeah. What about you? Any final thoughts?
No, I think you got everything. It's a great family movie night. I liked it more than GOAT. So I'll say that. GOAT was mid. Um,
Mhm.
but thank you guys for watching. This has been the Screen Kings. We will see you guys soon. Later.